Hello everyone. Came on here to share my Anna Griffin create projects that I created. My niece did her own, so of course obviously she has hers. We did not do scrapbooking because we don't scrapbook, so we did the cards. We picked one card of the two that we thought we would like better. Instead of stressing over trying to make everything at this create, we chose one project and it went a whole lot easier. And then Friday evening we had to run an hour away to go. We went to shopping to Joann's. We had to do that since I was there, and so we didn't get to play Friday evening after the classes were done. Saturday we did, so I made a couple extra cards from class, the day one that we missed class one, and they were having a bunch of work done at their house that she wasn't aware of. Anyway, they had turned the power off to put the generator in, so it was a big old mess. So we missed some of it, so I backed up and punted. She made some other cards that she needed to make, and I just went ahead and did the part that I missed. So I just want to share what we had. So here was one of the die sets we had to work with. And I think we used every die set at least once. This is a geometric. This is lattice. This is just borders. We didn't use the border frames. We used the flower and the butterfly in this class. I don't think we used... I might have used them for something else. Or she might have used them. I don't remember. I don't remember using those. We did use the diamonds. And this one is the rose die. And then the borders are here. We used the borders for some of the cards we made. And they're the same as the frames. The decorative frames. So, again, if you scrapbooked, you would have used them a lot. So, because the class is obviously the scrapbook pages. So, it was fun. It was different than the fall create, because the fall create, you have one class of cards, and then you might have another class of cards, but you do a lot of other projects. This one, she changed up in the spring to be scrapbooking and card making. This was the first time she had combined them, so that was why I attended. And I just took my stuff to my niece's house, and we just shared everything. So, the first class we had was Antique Botanical, and you get a lot of stuff in here. So, here were some of the flowers and the flourishes. There's my scraps. Journaling cards were for the scrapbooking pages. You do get inserts for the cards. There's some titles for the cards or scrapbooking, and some gold ones. Obviously, we used them and we shared them. There's two sheets, but we shared them because we were both using them. These are, I put the two extra, or the one card that was left in here. These are photo mats. Obviously there's a lot, but you flip them around and they're card layers. So these are going to come in handy as card layers. And then that was one of the card fronts. That was the one we had left, because there was 8 cards total in the kits. So, and then there was some foil paper, and this blue paper, the camera's not doing it justice. It's gorgeous. There was gold in there. There were the borders. We didn't use many of the borders. And then here's the paper. I'm not going to take it all out. Just trying to do, well, let's flip through. Let me do this. Let's do this. There we go. That's probably going to be better. So the paper was gorgeous. So there's the paper. This is what we had left. Again, and the scrapbook only used 4, and then whatever they had to use to cut for their pages. But you got a lot of stuff if you were a card maker and didn't do the scrapbooking. So, yeah. Let me get this stuff out of my way, and I'll show you my cards. Let me move this back into here. But we had a good time, me and her, just hanging out, spending quality time together. I guess we did use the borders, because there's some that were cut. So this was Antique Botanical. Let me set it down here. And I don't remember the order these cards were made in, but here's one of them with the diamond frames and the lattice border, and then there's the insert. So that was one of the cards from day one. This is another card from day one. We used the diamonds again back here, and this came from, I'm not sure where that came from, to be honest. It's part of the die set. Anyway, there's this one, and then the insert. These two weren't too bad dimensionally, but as the day went on, the stuff got more dimensional. So here's another one where we use the borders on the card, and then the lattice is in here in the back. And the butterfly. And then the insert. So that one became a little more weighty. And then this one has got 3 layers and the card base. So this again was using the diamonds. And then there's that. So those are the day one's cards with Antique Botanical. These were all made to be uplifting cards for inspiration, to pick me up. I don't know who I'm going to give all these cards to. But we made them. So we'll figure out something to do with them. Let me get those set over there. So the second class, or the day 2 classes, were from Leon. This one was kind of, I like some of the paper, and some of the paper I didn't. It was kind of hard to work with some of her embellishments. So there's the embellishments we had left, the gold pieces. My niece used some of these to make her Mother's Day cards that she was making. Again, the borders, the foil, and again, the matte layers with the backing. This green is gorgeous, by the way. She used one of these, or maybe 2 of them, for her Mother's Day cards. We fell in love with that green. I need more of that one. Inserts, we didn't use any of these. So there's 2 pages of that. And then my scraps are in here. Title, journal. I threw all my scraps in here. I told her, don't throw that stuff away. We can use it for something. I mean, you can make strips down your cards. And, so yeah. So here's the paper that we had left in Leon. Each kit came with 32 sheets. You had 4 of each design. And some of them we didn't use at all. So there's that class. Let me put all this stuff away. I gotta put my scraps in something at some point this evening to clean up a little bit. Because we just threw everything in the packaging, and I told her I would sort it when I got home. She has a big area to craft, though. And we had stuff spread everywhere. I've got places I can craft, and I could do the same thing, but where this little layout or setup is for me at the moment is not ideal for that because I got a bunch of crap around me. I have a dining room table in here that we could empty and do that. But she had this whole big work area that her hubby built. So yeah, we had stuff everywhere. All right. I'm not sure which was day one or card one, but here's one of the cards. This was a second card. And then this one, you used quilling techniques, but you didn't actually quill. You just folded your paper to look like you quilled it. And when first couple I did, I kind of bent the middle piece a little bit. So I said, oh, well, if people pay that much attention to it, then oh, well. But this one is very dimensional. You can't mail that in a regular envelope. This would be one good one to hand deliver. But yeah, this was different. New technique I learned. So those were day 2 cards. And then the last collection we used was Francesca. And this one was my favorite of all of them. And I have a lot of this Francesca collection when she first came out with it. I wasn't crafting when that happened, but somebody was selling a D-stash and I got a lot of it. We used some Francesca, I think, in Create 10. And she sold a pack of 24 sheets to AG members that were Francesca, and they were only single-sided. But some of those are in here. But so I've got more Francesca than what's here. But so this was day 3. Again, flowers and gold pieces. The words. Card bases that we had left. Again, the matte layers. I don't even know how many's in there. But you got a bunch. So these will be good, I said card fronts. So the inserts, the envelopes we had left, obviously the journaling spots, those. I don't think we used these for the card making class. She took one of these out because we were doing oopsies on the 3rd day and she was going to pitch a whole card. And I said, no, don't pitch it. Grab a border and stick it over there. People will think it was meant that way. So I know she used one of those just because of that. I did make some. This one wasn't supposed to be a sloppy copy, but it ended up being that way because we were trying to figure out something and I just made it a sloppy copy. And then this one, we had some notes on it, so I knew how to do things with that one. That I just took and put in there. We cut into these. So I told her we could use these though still. Put another piece of paper there and you can still use them. So here's the scraps we had left. Came with gold foil. We had a lot more scraps left with this one because, oh, we did use the borders. I'm sorry, we did use those. We made a couple oopsies along the way, so we had to redo some stuff. So, on the 3rd day. So here's Francesca. Get it in the frame. This is what we had left, of Francesca. I'm not doing very good showing the paper, but so that's what we had left. And these collection kits are up on HSN. They were earlier today. If you're interested in buying any of them, you don't get the instruction with it, obviously, but you can get the kits and do your own thing with it. If you like the collections, I actually ordered from her Create sale. I actually ordered a whole nother box of this because I liked most of it in here. And I'm going to share it with, I'm giving my niece the dies because I don't need a second set, but I'm going to share a couple other things with her out of it. And, yeah. So I ordered another whole set. And then I ordered another collection of Francesca separate, so, because that's how much I liked it. And I can't get this in here. What is the problem? Let's just do this. I shouldn't even worry about it, but I should just do it when we're done filming. But if I don't, I'll have all these little pieces everywhere. And yeah. So I'll clean up the rest of this when we're done. All right, so here's day 3. So here's the first card we did. This is the one me and her both changed up to say birthday, because we were looking for birthday card. And it flips. So, and then there's the sentiment. My little spot you could write on. Isn't it cute? We made that from scratch instead of using a die. I think I have dies that make those. This was the second one that we made. It has a little pocket up here. You could put a gift card on that. This doesn't, it's made to be just like that. And then you got the inside. So this one's kind of dimensional. Wouldn't recommend mailing that one either. And this one was the one that was giving me grief, because I don't know what I was thinking, and I guess I was overthinking it. So this one is quite heavy. You would not want to mail this one either. So this was the last card we made, and we Velcroed it because we didn't like it hanging open. So you open it. There's the front. You open it. There's another section. There's another section. There's another section, and there's the inside. So you close it, you close it, you close it, you close it. So, and then you still had, you put it on a card front or card base, and then you still had that. So, all in all, we had a good time. I want to try making some of these, not all of them. And go back and do the ones I didn't do during the classes. So, but I just wanted to share those. We had a good time. I actually liked all the paper. The Leon was just a little bit different for me, but I still liked it. But yeah, it was good. She doesn't know if she's doing Create 11 yet, with all the stuff going on with the tariffs and stuff. She hasn't, because usually you get to buy the next Create event when the one you're on ends. She usually puts for sale the next one, so you can pre-order it. But she did not do that with this one, because she said she doesn't know what's going on yet. So she's supposed to let those that were attending this Create know something by June. So I guess if you want to, if she's doing something and you wanted to pre-order it, she would let us have first dibs. So, so yeah. Don't know what the November event would look like, even if she has one. She's not sure either. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But, that's all I got. I just wanted to show my cards that we made. And like I said, if you liked any of these collections, look on HSN, because earlier this evening they were on there for sale. Just the kits. You didn't get, I don't know if the border dies I think were for sale. I didn't see the other frame dies on there. But you could use any frame that you have. It doesn't have to be those. If you like the paper. So, anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. I will chat with you later. Have a good evening.